Roleplay Retcon does not own any part of the movies we retcon, nor are we associated with the artists who make them. Also, while most episodes are safe for all listeners, please do check the individual episode descriptions for any content warnings.
The music for this series is by Behold. You can find them on Bandcamp, YouTube, and more.
Previously on Roleplay Retcon does Pacific Rim Uprising. The war against the monstrous kaiju and their alien creators, fought with humanity's giant mechanical Jaegers, ended a decade ago. Mechanically gifted teen Amara and Jake trespassed into a Jaeger graveyard to scavenge a valuable power core. Jake Pentecost, son of fallen kaiju war hero Stacker Pentecost, also tried to get his hands on the power core, but Amara gave him and his gun-happy companions the slip. Jake ditched his companions to track down Amara using the power core's energy signature, but his companions caught up and wanted both their heads and the power core. Jake and Amara managed to defeat their attackers using Scrapper, Amara's custom and kludged-together Jaeger, only to be disabled by Ajax November, a Jaeger operated by the Pan-Pacific Defense Council. Now both Amara and Jake have been arrested by the Council's enforcers and await questioning.
You find yourself in the simple, honestly kind of ramshackle type holding facility of the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps. You're in the sort of narratively appropriate, stereotypical interrogation room, sitting at a very simple table. There would normally just kind of be two chairs on either side of the tables, but Jake is also in this room and has kind of pulled a chair around to the other side. He sits with his head in his hands, kind of glum over the situation, to put it mildly, having been arrested by the police, before there is a knock at your door. As the door begins to open, Jake reminds you that you should never speak to any kind of person in these situations without a legal representative present, before a medium height Japanese woman with kind of short hair down to her shoulders steps in. She wears a kind of navy military looking uniform that has a number of medals on it and kind of holds a hat under one hand. Very officious looking.
Do I recognize her?
I tell you what, why don't you roll a check for me here? If you've got any triggers you want to add to it, go for it. But just looking for above a 10 is standard.
Okay, do I have any triggers?
You might not have a trigger, but I tell you what, you are quite studied on the events of the Kaiju War and the history of various very prolific mechs. So I'll give you an accuracy on this as well.
Ooh, nice. Thank you. And am I rolling? What am I rolling for?
So a D6 and a D20.
Well, I got 12.
Yeah, you would know this person anywhere. This is Mako, whose last name has slipped my mind. Technically Pentecost, but not really. Mako Mori. There we go. Got there. This is Mako Mori, who is the one of the
Mako Mori.
Fan favorite Mako Mori, who was done incredibly dirty by the actual plot of this film. Mako Mori is one of the two pilots of the Jaeger, the Avenger, or the Danger, rather. The titular Jaeger that was detonated at the breach to seal the realm connecting tissue into where the aliens that infiltrated your world came from. She is an incredibly prolific figure. There are quite literally medals singing her praises, as well as an official museum that has a hologram of her, hailing both her and Raleigh Beckett as heroes of your world. She looks to you and gives you a small, polite nod before she turns to Jake, who groans and says, what do you think you were doing? Both of you.
Hi. I just want to say thank you for everything. I'm not supposed to talk to you, though, but thank you.
As you say that, Jake is looking at you like...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say anything, actually. But I just want to say that.
She just gives you a very small nod. And she says, you were piloting an unlicensed and unregistered Jaeger that we don't have any schematics or record of. Where did you come across this Jaeger?
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say anything. I think I'm not supposed to say anything.
Let me put it this way. Your options here are give me some information about what exactly you were doing with an unregistered Jaeger running through the streets of Los Angeles and what was a dangerous conflict between you and illegal black market dealers, or you can wind up in a federal penitentiary. That goes for you too, Jake.
She's just going to look over at Jake.
Jake will acquiesce and kind of lean back in his chair completely informally and perhaps a little impolitely, to which Mako will say, so you didn't want to train pilots, but you were willing to train stowaway vagabonds on unlicensed, dangerous machinery.
I'm sorry, excuse me, train? No. He was not training me. I don't need training.
Evidently not.
I'm sorry, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that.
Well, you've said it now, and I want to know more about it.
She's just going to look over at Jake again.
Jake will consider things and say, actually, no, I also would like to input words here. I was absolutely not training her in any way, shape, or form. Big misunderstanding, sis. I'm sure you understand. We just kind of bumped into each other and one thing led to another. They were shooting at us, that kind of thing.
She's just going to put her hand up. I'm sorry, did you say sis?
And Mako will say, did you?
Is that... Oh, does that mean that do I know him?
Jake Pentecost?
Yeah.
Son of Stacker Pentecost. Jake looks just super defeated. His sort of cool anonymity that he thought he had maybe maintained, but definitely hadn't maintained, just kind of breaks in a second here.
Wow. It's so nice to meet you both. Sorry.
I don't feel particularly strongly that you owe anyone here an apology, though you have yet to answer any of my requests for information. Where did you come across this Jaeger?
Come across? Do I have a lawyer? Can I have a lawyer?
Jake will say, she made it, which gets an eyebrow raise from Mako, who will look back to you, who will say, is that true? You made this robot?
Well, I guess if Jake said it, yeah, it's true. I did. I made it. Her, actually.
That is incredible. You know, once upon a time, there were a number of younger initiates in the Jaeger program who were around your age, and it was my dear brother here's job to train them. I had assumed perhaps he had landed himself in a similar situation as to that, seeing the two of you in a rusted bucket of bolts that could loosely assemble into a Jaeger. But I see now that perhaps my dearest brother was doing nothing more than another run for some spare cash here or there.
Yeah, he tried to attack me and steal my parts, which is actually how he ended up inside my Jaeger, which I can pilot by myself, obviously. I was just kind of protecting him. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's a good thing I did, I guess, because he was going to definitely get killed by the black market people. Probably I shouldn't have said any of that.
She just looks at Jake, who looks ready to die, probably in this moment. He'd probably rather be anywhere else. And Mako takes her hat and kind of creases it in her hands and says, Jake, there was a time when our father thought you were going to be the next him, the next great Pentecost. But I see maybe your priorities lie elsewhere. So if you would prefer to find yourself in a cell befitting of your current station, I can arrange that, and perhaps Miss Namani and I can discuss some other negotiations. But if that isn't what you're looking for, there is always a spot back for you in the Jaeger initiative. We are still in need of trainers, now more than ever. And Miss Namani, you have expressed some level of expertise, I will say, in the piloting endeavor. Where do you find yourself in life at this moment? How are you indisposed currently?
You mean besides being here talking to you, facing prison? I'm doing okay.
Just okay?
Well, it could always be better.
And how would you feel about the opportunity to pilot mechs for the United World Government?
Seriously?
You've shown that you have an adept nature, and I think you could perhaps be a good influence on our would-be trainer here.
Did you hear that, Jake? I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry. Yes, it would be an honor. It would be an honor. Thank you. Is that a real offer?
It could be. It depends on what Jake has to say.
Come on, Jake. I mean, I saved your life, right? You owe me one.
It's true. Why don't you go ahead and give me we'll make another roll for this. You have saved his life. I will grant you an advantage here.
That's another 6 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
17.
He groans loudly and says, we are going to exchange some serious words about this later.
Does that mean yes?
And Mako takes her hat and folds it under one arm and says, well, I'm glad you're seeing things Dad's way. And she'll turn and walk out of the room, but she leaves the door open as if you would like to follow after her.
Yes, I will. I will just stand up and regain my composure and smile at Jake and then walk after her.
He throws kind of his jacket back onto himself a little more and runs after you and kind of holds you back ever so slightly from directly behind Mako as she leaves, and says, okay, look, this probably isn't all it's cracked up to be, all right? You have no idea what it's like, for starters, right?
Jake, you have no idea what it's been like for me for however long. So, it's... Don't worry about it. I got this, buddy. And she just kind of pats him on the shoulder.
He makes a face that says something to the effect of unbelievable, but follows after you. You walk outside the penitentiary, or the small holding cell, we'll say, to find a sort of massive twin rotor helicopter. Mako is already throwing on a pair of headphones and stepping inside, and she kind of gives you an open invitation on board. There are some other kind of Pan-Pacific Defense Corps, assistants running around. One of them is kind of checking some stuff on the machine. Another one of them is pulling kind of safety vests and headsets over to you two as you want to get on this vehicle.
Yes, I put the stuff on. Get in.
And you get in, and you all proceed to fly to China, of all places. No, I don't know why they're doing this on helicopter. I can't explain it.
Helicopters in 2035 are just really cool.
They're built different. Yeah, they're crazy, actually.
The air change is the thing.
Yeah, the air changed very fundamentally. Yeah, that's crazy. You guys get on this helicopter and you fly all the way to China.
Wow.
Just off the coast of China is a sort of massive floating, almost like one of those oil rig platforms. It is a dome in shape, as well as a sort of landing area with these sort of large metal tubes kind of built into the side of the structure. From history, as well as you all fly in closer, Jake will say the Shatter Dome. This is one of the dispatch areas from which the Jaegers are sent out on their excursions, or were sent out on their excursions during the time of the kaiju incidents. Your helicopter takes its time coming in and landing before Mako very unceremoniously hops off and begins to walk towards kind of the central building. Jake will throw his stuff off and run after her to exchange some words as well. And you are left, should you so like, to take in the sights here just a little bit. The kind of tarmac, I guess is what I'll call it, landing strip, whatever, is filled with all of these kind of Defense Corps orderlies who are running around. You see engineers carrying bags of tools and components that probably look pretty eye-catching to you. You see a number of like military-clad individuals as if not quite a pilot almost. They look like there may be pilots of other vehicles here, but probably not Jaegers running about. As well as a couple younger looking individuals wearing the kind of raiments of a pilot. They wear the kind of like buttoned up jumpsuit that has the like Jaeger Initiative logo on it. And why don't we do these one at a time here? Ben and Alex, you guys want to give us an introduction to your characters?
All right. So yeah, there's a young man. He's got shaggy hair, like messy hair. Maybe not shaggy, but messy certainly.
He wants a Scooby snack.
He didn't do it. It wasn't him. And he's got this like heavy lidded sort of look about him, but he doesn't look like, it's not like ennui. It's like he's just like very chill. He kind of looks like, he has had a Scooby snack. Hello there. Are you the new blood?
Yeah, I guess so. Hi, I'm Amara.
I'm Bon Jaeger. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to China, I guess.
Thank you. So, you're a pilot?
Kind of a wannabe pilot, I guess. But yeah, sure.
Nice, cool.
You look behind him and you see a heavily muscled, rather tall individual with short cropped hair, color brown, piercing blue eyes, as deep as ice, with a $1 million smile. He's wearing a cool leather bomber jacket, and you assume he has a cigarette in his mouth. But he turns to look at you, and he takes it out and unwraps it's a gum wrapper, and he puts the gum in his mouth because he doesn't smoke because he's cool.
This is my buddy. This is Alex Blasius.
Henn, question. Do we have a rank?
You are currently, yes, you do. You are currently rank 0. You are what is called an initiate rank.
Initiate. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It gives you access to things like the dorms here, which is where you stay and live and things like that, right. But not access to things like the planning offices and things like that.
Well, I walk up to Amara and I reach out my hand. Hello, I'm Initiate Blasius.
Hi, nice to meet you. And she reaches out her hand as well.
Nice to meet you too. You can call me Alex if you'd like.
Oh, thanks, Alex. You can call me Amara.
Amara. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Doesn't he have $1 million smile?
Well, there might be 25,000 at least.
At least. I would say.
Wouldn't it be dollary dues?
Did you say dollary dues?
Dollary dues. It's a Simpsons reference, Alex.
So, Amara, what brings you to our little ocean base?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to be an initiate too.
Yeah, but what are you, like 14, 15?
I'm 19, thanks.
You 3 are, without any shadow of a doubt, the last 3 teenagers, we'll say, to ever pilot a Jaeger. The Jaeger initiative has been pretty much dead in the water, pun intended, for a number of years now. The Kaiju War is over. Jaegers are largely a relic of policing large cities where tech issues run rampant, scavenged weapons from Jaegers that need to be fought off with other Jaegers, and really nothing else. There are no more giant monsters to kill. Almost like the coolest aspect, one of the coolest aspects of this entire franchise has been removed from it. It's terrible and sad. And there's a bit of melancholy to being the last three, but there's also a lot of pride, obviously, particularly I imagine for you, Amara, who has been recruited effectively off the streets for your escapades with Scrapper. Also worth noting, Amara, as you're having this conversation, another helicopter does fly in and lower Scrapper onto the deck. It's a little ways from you, but you can still hear the metal kind of creak and bend as it tends to do when she walks around anyway, as her kind of dormant form kind of slumps onto a slightly standing position on the tarmac, and kind of techs begin to run over to it.
Oh, wow.
Can I run over to her too?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, you run over to this thing, and there's a younger looking tech there who stops you and is like, whoa, this is unlicensed tech. We can't have any of the pilot initiates looking at this. This is
that's mine, actually. So please be careful with her.
It's yours.
Scrapper. Yeah, of course. I made her.
You made her.
That's funny joke.
It's not a joke. Who are you?
I'm James, obviously.
Right.
Come on.
James,
Right, James.
cut her a break.
Whatever you say, pilot. And he'll kind of return to his work.
I love it when they call me pilot.
Yeah, pulling rank.
That's cool. I can't
What are you
wait.
trying to do? Impress the new gal?
No.
Oh, all right. You impress me.
Correct. The you impressed me only just hit. Oh, good, because, well, I'm sold. Scrapper is here on the deck. You can see the tech's kind of looking over her. There's a mixture of a little bit of like, wow, like someone put this together, and someone put this together. In, we'll say, equal measure, probably. They're used to working on stuff that's a little higher end, but at the same time, this is not something that's ever been done before, to your knowledge.
Looks like it's been in a scuffle.
Yeah.
Looks like it's been in a scrap heap.
Well, yes and yes. How observant you two are.
Comes with the job.
They only pick the best for pilots.
Before long, you can hear the, not quite shouting, we'll say, but raised words of Jake as Mako and Jake are walking back towards you three. Jake is in the process of saying, she built that. It's dangerous. Someone like that probably shouldn't be a pilot. Oh, hi, Amara. As they approach.
Rude.
I yell, attention.
And as you do so, the techs behind you all also kind of snap to attention and give a salute to Mako as she arrives, still kind of hat tucked under one arm.
I nudge Amara.
Oh, yeah, same. Attention. Yes. I do the thing. I copy. I look around and see what they're doing, and I do that thing.
Everyone is saluting except for Jake, who just kind of stands next to her with his hands in his pockets. A little bit of slouch.
Rude.
A little bit.
I don't know. I don't think it's nearly as rude as her leveraging their dead father as emotional manipulation.
Yeah. Hey, it's canon.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm not judging you, Henn.
Oh,
I know
I'm
you would
aware.
never.
I'm doing it because you watch that movie and you're like, wow, that's really messed up. He has a lot of guilt about this, and his older sister is being like, wow, remember how dad is dead and you'll never live up to his expectations because of that? Like, wow.
Anyway, see you at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You never come around the Shatter Dome in the middle of China anymore, Jake. Why is that?
Aww.
Everyone is snapped to attention, with the exception of Jake here.
I would say
Mako...
Bon is sort of chill at attention, but he is doing the salute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She waves a hand that means you can relax. And everyone kind of physically relaxes a little
I
bit.
yell, at ease.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Bon looks so at ease.
Even more so than prior.
You've never seen a guy more at ease.
Absolutely.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah?
Hey, Ben.
Yeah?
Eddie's nuts.
Nah.
It's pretty good.
Got him.
It's pretty good.
Got him.
No.
See, now I don't know what you're saying in canon and what you're not now.
You'll never know.
You are all not in detention anymore. You're at ease. As Mako looks across the three of you, and she'll say, in as officious a voice as she can manage, akin to old recordings you've probably seen, I guess not old recordings, but like televised national broadcasts of Stacker Pentecost. She stands up a little straighter and she says, Shatter Dome, individuals, recruits, workers, pilots, These three are our pilots of the last remaining regiment of the Jaeger initiative. Our newest recruit, Amara and starts effective immediately today. You will treat her with the respect you would any other pilot on this base. Do I make myself clear? And all of the text behind you say, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Amara, it's a lot of eyes on you at the moment. She continues. The trainers we've appointed to you thus far have been largely rookies, comparatively. They've done their drills in the simulators, and they've maybe even stepped foot in a Jaeger here or there, but none have been the real deal. Today, I bring before you the... She looks over to Jake and chooses her next words very carefully. The real deal. This is Jake Pentecost, my brother, adoptive brother, and one of the few remaining people here on this base who has stepped foot inside a Jaeger as part of a former Jaeger program. There's a small murmur over the crowd of people.
Murmur.
Remember. Chatter,
I believe
chatter,
there's some murmur.
chatter.
There we go. God damn it, the chatter is back. She tunes her radio so the chatter goes away. Starting today, Jake will be your instructor in this Jaeger initiative. You three are the last pilots that will be put through this initiative, I imagine. As you may know, Li Wen Shao is the head of the current head of the Shao Corporation. They are attempting to shut down the Jaeger initiative. And as she says so, there are some boos. She kind of puts a hand up to silence them. Their drone-controlled Jaegers have eliminated the need for human pilots, even as we have revolutionized Jaeger technology and reduced the neural strain that a Jaeger needs down to just one pilot, as she points to the three of you. It's hard to compete with an automated defense force as efficient as the Shao Corporation. It is our job to show them that they are wrong, to show them that pilots can still make a difference for good in this world, and you three will eventually be the three to do that. We have an upcoming meeting with the chairwoman of the Shao Corporation, as well as a couple other select individuals that I will be heading. This meeting is to determine the efficacy of this drone program and discuss the ongoing tests that will be run to put these drones through the paces. I would like an honor guard of the three of you there present in Jaeger deployment as a show of good faith. It's helpful for them to see us, to see that we still have our sea legs, as it were. That means you have just a couple days here to be trained and ready. I'm not asking you to be fully fledged pilots. I'm just asking you to stand on your own 2 feet in a Jaeger. It's harder than you might think. Jake will be the one putting you through the paces. You can direct any further questions to him. He knows his stuff, I promise. And she'll turn to Jake, and why don't you all give me a check here to see if you can pick up on what exactly transpires between the two of these individuals.
I have read a situation.
Absolutely, that is a trigger for this situation.
I also have read a situation.
Okay, both of you. You two also know these two, and probably not Jake, but you've seen Commander Mako out and about.
Look for subtext, motive, or threat in a situation or person, often social situations.
16 plus 2. 18. If
I don't have that, is it just a regular D20?
Just a D20.
Yeah, 8.
Well, 5 plus 2. I'm so at ease. You've never seen a motherfucker this at ease before.
But Alex picked up on it.
Alex, you are clearly a little more in tune with the kind of military rank and file stuff happening.
Oh, yeah.
The Commander Mori's response to Jake as an odd way. This man has been standing next to her for some amount of time now. You've never seen him before, but he very clearly seems like a type of person that maybe you might clash a little with on how you see the world.
I've seen the bits.
He is lax. He is not paying the commander the respect that she deserves. And worse than that, probably, he's related to her and won't support his own sister. Despite that, when she turns to him and kind of looks into his eyes, there's a very real, kind of serious moment of maybe for the first time it clicks that she has real faith in him. Or even if it's not faith, she has put a lot of eggs in this basket and she knows he can deliver. And for the first time since standing there, he straightens just a little bit before he kind of returns to his, kind of leans it all the way back over and starts leaning on the other side instead. But he does kind of sober up almost. And she says a couple of words to him quietly that others don't pick up on, but Alex, you're close enough you can hear. She says, "You'll do him proud."
Hey, it's Ben. Let's take a little break, huh? I got some things to tell you. Our guest GM for this series is Henn, also known as I Write Robots in all the good corners of the internet. Henn's a science fiction writer, namely Interface, an ongoing sci-fi novel about a college boy, a con artist, and a robot you can find on his website, iwriterobots.com, which I'll link in the episode notes. The first few chapters actually have audio versions, too. He's also pretty big into Magic the Gathering and D&D and makes video essays on YouTube, which is really the thing that got him the gig on Roleplay Retcon. They're pretty good. I'll link to all of this in the episode notes. The soundtrack for this series features Behold, which is spelled with a slash between B and hold. The track up top of this episode is called Uprising, and it's an original piece we commissioned for the series. The rest of the music is from his back catalog. Some of it was made for My First Dungeon, a very good actual play podcast. And some of it is from his latest album, Where They Landed, which is a concept album that combines like spooky sci-fi vibes with Appalachian folk music. You can find all his music on YouTube, Bandcamp, and a bunch of other places. Just Google Behold. Or you can find him on social media as Behold Your Fate. Roleplay Retcon is part of the One Shot Network, which has lots of great shows, like the flagship One Shot podcast, or System Mastery with Jeff and John, which is sort of like a two-person book club where they read old, weird TTRPGs and make a lot of jokes. Or Skyjack's Courier's Call, an all-ages spinoff of Campaign Skyjacks. Roleplay Retcon has a Discord and a Patreon. The Discord has bonus people, and the Patreon has bonus content. One thing that's on the Patreon that you can listen to, it dropped a little while ago, but I think it's still fresh. We create an original TTRPG together just on the fly in this one session called The Baby is Exploding. And it's about like being babysitters that are looking after a baby that suddenly gains uncontrolled superpowers that is putting everything at risk except for the baby who can never actually be harmed.
To lose with your stamina or with the zaniness, like the losing is you've ruined your reputation as a babysitter, right? You can't work in this town ever again. And like calling the parents is going to really lower your reputation as a babysitter. But like you'll succeed, but it's going to really maybe change. Like if you use it, maybe the epilogue will be different.
All right, that's all I got. Back to the episode.
Of you are left with Jake Pentecost, who will turn to you and say, "All right, recruits, I am in the unfortunate situation of being your trainer. Let's all work together, and I'm sure we'll get through this as quickly as possible so that we can be done here. You can go home. Won't ever have to worry about the Jaeger initiative ever again. Let's get to it."
Wait. What do you mean go home? We're gonna save the program, and we're gonna be real pilots, and they're not gonna get rid of us, right? That's what she just said.
Hey, new blood. Listen, you've stumbled into a great opportunity here. You're gonna have to work like 5 hours tops, and then you got something great to put on your resume for your next great adventure. I'm sure you could be a.
You're so funny, Bonjour Jaeger, but that's not what I'm here for. Yeah, thanks though.
All right,
we're saving this program. Just like Mako just said.
That's right. We do our best. We run a clean game. We do everything that we can. We be all that we can be, and we'll save this program.
Nice. Cool.
Jake claps and says, it'll serve you well. All right, let's get to it. Suit up, get to your Jaegers. And he stops and realizes Amara doesn't have a Jaeger.
I do. I have a Jaeger.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah, but don't say that. You know what?
Look, it's a great little piece of engineering and way more than I could do, but it's not technically a Jaeger.
Let's get you something with a little bit more firepower. A little bit more grr, if you know what I mean.
Well, I do have a lot of yay back there, but you're right. She doesn't have a lot of grr.
As you say that, the sort of metal tubes attached to the outside of this building begin to ratchet open, sort of the steel teeth that keep them intertwined pull apart in this cacophony of metallic inner workings as these doors slide open to reveal massive mechanical humanoid figures, the titular Jaegers you've all been waiting to pilot. Two of you have already spent some time in the Jaegers, that you probably haven't taken them out and about. You've done a lot of simulator work, a lot of drills, but never the real deal. Amara, there are a handful of robots here to choose from. What does the robot you go towards, what does it look like, if you want to spin us a narrative?
Okay. All right,
Describe.
so Amara is going to take this very seriously. She's going to go in and she's going to start looking at the different Jaegers. Yeah, that one's okay, but I don't love the legs on it. Ooh, that one's pretty shiny.
That one's mine.
Yeah, I'm not really a melee person. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I love it though. It's very nice. It's a good one. And she starts walking and she sees one with like the little ankle bracelet and she's like, yeah, that one's not really my style, but it's cool. You know, it's cool. It's cool. And then at the very end, she sees the one. It's got a big cowboy hat on it and some like fucking revolvers. And she's like, oh my God. That's the one. What's its name?
James from earlier is walking past, and he says, "Oh, this one? With the revolvers and shit?
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah. It's just a little ditty. They call it Ironclad Gunsmoke."
Dude, that's the coolest name.
Yeah, it's kind of sick as hell. Now, if you'll excuse me, pilot. He gives you a little salute and walks off.
Oh my God, Ironclad Gunsmoke. That's the one.
The other two of you head to the Jaegers that you've already spent an amount of time with. You feel drawn to these robots. You want to give us a picture of what accoutrement your Jaeger is rocking?
Alex walks up to his mech. It's a large, slender-looking mech. It looks very fast. It's got a large red scarf around its neck that hangs pretty low. It looks like it's gently fluttering in the breeze. It has a giant sword on one side, a knife on the other, and a huge axe across its back. And I nudge Amara and be like, this is the Obsidian Gamble.
Oh my God, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. Perfect for you. I love it.
Unironically, this is why you should play Lancer, is to have your friends sit at the table with you and be like, check out this sick-ass robot I'm going to tell you about.
Cool,
it's got a fucking
robot.
50-foot scarf that hangs from its neck and an axe on its back. Like, dude, how cool is that? And you're going to sit there and be like, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I want to see that robot punch things.
I love it.
Best part of this game. Ben, take us home.
Here's the thing. I can't remember.
He doesn't know what robots look like.
I don't know what robots look like. Are they like cows?
Yeah, the ankle bracelet.
It's just a regular cow.
Is it just ankle bracelets? Like, can't I have
that's up to you. You could have bracelets too.
I want some other, like, not just the bracelets. Yeah, I want like a cool like puka shell necklace too, or some shit.
Yeah.
I have like Banjo's necklace from Banjo-Kazooie.
What about? Hear me out. Go with me on this journey.
Oh, what if like a Jaeger tooth necklace?
Kaiju is where I was going with this too.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's cool.
A necklace that is scavenged teeth from like leatherback and yeah.
So that's what it is. But yeah, it's very surfer-ish though.
We also decided that your ankle bracelet was made out of kaiju hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. It's been so long. I couldn't remember. But yeah.
That's okay. We were like 3 weeks behind.
Yeah. Basically, so this is it's a little like squatter and wider than the other Jaegers that you see. The other ones, they're very like tall humanoids, and this is more like it's a little wider. It's a Danny DeVito sort of the Jaegers. But that's in service of being able to carry like a bunch of stuff, like particularly like 2 very large cases on its back. And it's got like a missile rack on it too. And this is Infinity Horse.
What precedes is all 3 of you being fitted for the kind of slightly armored Jaeger suits that you will become accustomed to before. I think all of you should have in your inventory a form of armored hard suit for your pilot. You're fitted with these helmets that have sort of ports on the back, as well as the back of your hands that have these kind of textile gloves, textured gloves is the word I was looking for, that have sort of diodes and ports to connect into on the backs of your hands, legs, head, etc. You're taken up to the helm area of the Shatter Dome here, where you are taken through a couple of walkways before you walk out on kind of those long metal struts that they use to put astronauts in spaceships as you kind of walk through the scaffolding into the heads of your Jaegers, where you are plugged in to these massive robots. And what proceeds from there is a sick training montage, because every movie needs a sick training montage, as they taught us in the first Rocky film. So I have a series of training montage tasks for us to work through. Jake,
well, we're the best around. No one's ever going to keep us down.
Absolutely, we're gonna fly now. Is I believe the other name of the other training montage song. I'm pretty sure that's right.
The other one.
Don't laugh at me.
You know, the other one.
You all walk out onto the tarmac. The kind of orderlies use those light sticks for planes to kind of direct people off the area. A siren sounds. 1 blare, you are later informed, means that we're running some drills. 2 blares means the real deal. As kind of people clear off, there are a couple of like planes and helicopters that have landed here, and those are either pulled into garages of massive armored vehicles or flown out to other portions of the kind of extended base area. You all begin to take your first steps in these as an orderly tries to push a safety jacket on Jake, who is just standing on the tarmac by himself with a megaphone, and he kind of shuns the safety measures here, and you all are required now to take your first steps on giant metal feet. This is difficult. These feet are sort of psychically linked to your own body. You take these steps kind of in tandem in this sort of control unit that holds you suspended in the air in the head of the Jaeger. And when you're not walking with your own feet, it can be difficult. So we're going to have everyone make an agility save here. Which you will, target score is just always going to be 10, but if you've got agility points to add to that in your mech, you can absolutely do so. I think 2 of us do.
I do.
18 plus 2, baby, 20.
She's a natural, Amara. Like, so she can't be stopped, yeah.
17.
I rolled a 3 plus 2, 5.
Oh, wow,
6.
cool.
Oh, no.
The football curse is back. Longest yard curse.
The 2 of you very confidently stride out onto the tarmac here. Alex, you probably get a little... What do you think goes wrong?
I am so in my own head that I'm like, okay, I've been dreaming of this for, about to pilot a giant Jaeger. Gonna make my dad proud. Gonna make my mom proud. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And I just can't make my legs go.
Yeah, everyone steps out and you just stand there.
I'm just frozen.
Jake pulls the trigger on the megaphone and says, Pilot, you joining us? Yeah, I'll be right out. There's another long pause.
Hey, Alex, do you want to hold my hand?
No, I'm a big boy. I can do it. I can do it.
Of course you are.
I can do it.
I know you are. I believe in you. You got this.
Why don't you give me another agility save here, Alex?
Hey, I have a trigger called Be Cool Babies, which lets me calm someone who is scared, tense, angry, or otherwise intense.
This is a perfect use of knowing your triggers. Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a roll for that, Ben.
Okay.
And if you succeed on this, we'll give Alex some calm points.
All right. That's an 18 plus 2, 20.
Wow, that's a crit too. Sick. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it a crit even if you get plus? If it's not natural?
Yes, it's a crit anytime it adds up to 20 or more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a good old manual crit system here. Alex, on a critical success here, I'd normally just give you 1 accuracy, but I'm going to give you 2.
Hey, boss, you got this. You were born to do this.
As a reminder, the accuracy doesn't stack the way you want it to.
You roll
You'll
2d6
roll 2 and take the
highest
higher
one.
number. Yep, absolutely. Go for it.
I know words. All right.
I've heard that.
I got the 4, which will add to the 7 that I rolled, and make it an 11.
There we go. By the skin of your teeth. Yeah, it's shaky this time. But then you kind of remind yourself that, Bon is absolutely right. You were born for this. And you know that your whole family is waiting for you to do this. And you stride out onto the tarmac.
There you go, bud. Can Jaegers high five? Hey, do they have the mechanical capacity for high five?
They absolutely have the mechanical capacity to high five.
High five.
Yeah.
High fives all around as steel crashes into steel and sends kind of reverberating ruckus
And we all
across
just fall over.
Yeah, everyone's like,
Probably.
Oops, we're probably not supposed to do that, huh?
They
Oh well.
sound when you guys start the alarm. When you start the drills here, they sound the kind of like just drill alarm. And after you high five, there's a massive sort of metal crashing sound, and there's a brief pause before they sound the alarm again. It's like it's still just a drill. Don't worry.
They're gonna scrap him anyway. Who cares?
We move on in our training montage of epic learning. We cut to later that evening. You guys are being handed, after being walked into paces of basic movement, what is effectively a we'll call it a dummy bazooka. It's a handheld missile rack of some kind that you're going to be taught to fire before being taught to fire the integrated weapons that are built into these mechs here. And Jake sets up a sort of way off on one end of the base here, a paper mache, but made out of not paper mache. I'm trying to say it's like cobbled together. This kind of like pieces of steel fit together into the face of like an open like maw of some kind of kaiju. Doesn't look very recognizable. And everyone gets to take a shot at this thing here one at a time. 2 of you will kind of stay back, and someone will step forward and fire off at this thing. Let's do this one at a time. Do you guys want to make a ranged weapon attack?
I sure do. I got a 13.
13 hits? Yeah, absolutely. You fire off a volley of these kind of like dud missiles. They streak through the air. There's colored smoke behind them so that you can tell that they're not real live missiles being fired, and land directly on top of this kind of fake kaiju before a sort of burst of multicolored smoke goes off.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll
No sweat.
1d3 for me?
Nice shot, Bon.
Wait. Oh shit. I used to have. I had my D3 here, and I put it back.
You have a D3?
D3, and I put it back
What a
in my
nerd.
drawer. So I just have
What
to
a nerd.
do it like everyone else, like all the other peasants. That's a 1.
Nice. Yeah. You leave kind of a splattering of like that pink smoke color across it. Moving on, who wants to fire next?
I'll do it next.
Heck yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, Bond steps forward confidently. Missile racks are integrated into Bond's kit. You've simulated them many times over. Fire it off. Alex steps up.
Nat 20.
Wow! Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you've stepped into this mech now. You were born for this. You're already feeling like this metal body is your own body. You pull that trigger, you don't even look at the target, and those smoke kind of streaks through the sky. Go ahead and roll another D3 for me.
Not bad, boss.
3.
3? Yeah, max damage. Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
As we've left kind of a blasting like burnish across the front of it now. It's kind of begun to crumple just a little bit. All right. Newbie in town, Amara, you're kind of last in the queue here. You step up and go ahead and take a shot.
Does this count as auxiliary or a rifle?
be auxiliary, I think.
The missile rack is an auxiliary launcher weapon, so yes.
So could I use my opening argument then to gain +1 accuracy?
This is from a pilot talent, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That was the test, and you passed. Good job.
You don't get anything for it.
Cool.
Before Amara goes, I want to come over comms and use my issue order ability and be like, Amara, these rocket launchers are a little heavy on the front end. If you compensate up, you'll hit the target better. And you get +1 accuracy.
Okay, cool. Thank you. This is my first time firing one of
So you
these.
get 2 accuracy on this.
I got 20! Yeah!
Yeah, your shot's the final one to do it. It just blows this thing apart.
Nice.
You all can celebrate however you see fit.
We all high five again.
High fives!
And this time you only almost tip over.
Yeah.
Roleplay Retcon's remake of Pacific Rim Uprising is directed by I Write Robots, with Jincy as Amara Namani, Alex Blasius as Alex Blasius, and Benjamin Gray as Bon Jaeger. The soundtrack for this series features Behold. Our logo is by Jeanette Blasius.
Roleplay Retcon is produced by Two Fish in a Jug and is part of the One Shot Network.
Bye kisses.